Welcome to Experimental Recording Techniques. I'm Noam Wallenberg. We're here at RaxTrax Recording. We are going to be getting a drum sound that is distorted and hyper compressed. Experimental sounding drums that feel not like a drummer is playing in front of you. They feel like you are inside of a madhouse where drums are being destroyed. I'm going to be working with drummer Ben Dacoba, who is going to be banging on drums all day for us while we experiment with these sounds. On the kick drum, we have an iFet, which is by Sound Deluxe, and it's a FET 47 clone. Our kick drum microphone, we're putting about like 6 inches away from the drum. We're using a closed head today. On the overhead, we have our 421 by Sennheiser. I've used 57s on this. I've used bus driver talkback mics on this, so you can use almost any microphone. We're just looking for a general drum sound. We're not trying to capture specifically the cymbals, we're just trying to capture the drum kit. So I'm putting it really close up and right kind of in the middle of everything. And then on the snare drum, we are putting a contact microphone, an AKG C411, and it is a contact mic that's meant for like strings and violins. There is no rhyme or reason to where you put that. If you put it one place, it sounds horrible in one way, and if you put it another place, it sounds horrible in a completely different way, and you just try things out. You can put up a room mic. Today we're using a Coles 4038. You can use anything. You can use a 57, you can use any room mic. Again, it's not meant to sound pretty. We are working off of an MX 5050 tape machine, Otari tape machine. It's a 1/2 inch, 8-track machine. Gets really crunchy and can kind of lob off the transients in a pretty cool way if that's what you're going for. And we're gonna be working off of repro today so that we can hear everything that the tape machine is doing while we're sound checking. With this kick drum, we are pulling it in on a 9098 preamp. It's a really hot microphone, so we don't really have to add much of anything, but we are going to use the EQ a little bit to pull out just some of the lower mid-range stuff that it's doing. There's going to be a lot of attack coming off of our overhead mic, so I'm not really concerned with the attack of this. And we're lighting up our tape machine just a little bit. We're not getting too crunchy with it. Let's pull up our snare mic. Oh, so our snare mic is going through a 1073 classic Neve preamp. You don't need to have a 1073 preamp to do this sound. You can use, you know, whatever, Focusrite, PreSonus, M-Audio, whatever you have. But because I have a 1073, I'm gonna add in a whole lot of high end to it. So I'm kind of giving it a little bit of mid-range and just completely cranked on the high end. I am adding pretty much as much high end as it'll let me add is what I'm adding to this right now. The coolest microphone of the bunch is our 421. We're first hitting a Telefunken V76. It's a really old Telefunken preamp. From the V76, we're going into another Neve 1073. That's where it's getting smashed, right? So you're going into one preamp, then you're going into a second preamp, and you're getting a lot of overloading at that point. What I kind of like to do is I like to take it to the point where it's unlistenable, and then I come back a little bit. From there, we are going into 1176. We've got a Silverface 1176 here. I'm running all buttons in mode. All right, let's see how these feel together. We're gonna check phase on everything. getting a little harsh in some of the cymbal stuff in the like 5, 6K, so I'm gonna pull that back a little bit. Now, we also put up a room mic, so let's see how that sounds. This is a little bit more of like a claustrophobic, distorted type of sound, and with the room mic, we're gonna add a lot of depth to it. We are going through a Neve 1066 on this one, which is pretty similar to a 1073. We're coming into this, and then we're going to a TG1 limiter. We have it set to limit, and the recovery is set to as fast as it can possibly be. Hitting it pretty hard, and then we're gonna push that into the tape machine even harder to get some grit out of it. So, without our room mic, thanks for watching. Feel free to check out the other experimental recording videos that we're going to be doing here from RaxTrax in the coming weeks.